Hi and welcome back to Bill's Cichlid Room. Today I'm going to do a quick update on the Carpintis tank that I set up last week. If you've seen the video I did last week, you'll know I recently aquascaped this tank, put some rocks in it, some cobbles, and I actually went around the fish room to collect some fish to actually put in the tank. So these are all fish that I've actually grown up. There's 4 different species in here, and 3 of them I've actually bred myself. And the Carpintis are ones that I got when they were really small. They were about ½ an inch in size, and I've grew them up over the last couple of months. So there's half a dozen of each species in here. So there's the Carpintis, the Mineri, the Cuteri, and the Neotropolis. So they've been in this tank for about a week now, settling down. As you can see, it looks quite busy. All the fish all get along with each other fine, so no problems there. Yeah, it's quite a good looking tank, if I say so myself. Always interesting, always things going on. There's loads of hiding places for all the different species. As you can see, the Neotropolis, they keep going in the cobbles, which is what they do in nature, I suppose, because in the natural biotope, there's a bit of sand in there and a lot of rocks. The Carpintis, yeah, they seem to group together, chase each other around. The Mineri, they're the same, and the Cuteri, they're probably the smallest fish in here. But yeah, they're thriving. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way the tank's turned out. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll put a bit of food in them and we can watch them feeding. So what I'm feeding them, it's the homemade frozen food that Steph does for me. So it's got loads of prawns in it, loads of peas in it, some mussels in it, and some normal like pellet food as well, and she put some other ingredients in it as well. I did do a video on this a couple of months ago, so I'll mention that at the very end, so you can actually go and have a watch of that video if you want. Yeah, so as you can see, all the fish love this. Yeah, so the Carpintis, they're getting half decent size now, so they're probably about 2.5–3 inches in size now. Not shy of feeding out of your hands. So the Neotropolis, they tend to stay more towards the bottom, so they'll wait for all the bits to fall. And the Mineri just going round gathering all the bits that the Carpintis are too slow to get. Pretty much the same with the Cuteri as well. So the tank itself, there's 2 quite large sponge filters in there actually, and there's a 300 watt heater, and that's it for the tank. That's all the filtration. They get weekly water changes, and yeah, and that's all I do with the tank. I have updated the lights since I did the last video, which is why we can see the fish now. Yeah, so it's quite a good community tank. Everything gets along with each other at the moment until the Carpintis get a lot bigger. Yeah, and there's no signs of aggression, and yeah, everything's fine. I'll try and get a close up on some of them. Yeah, so they're definitely Carpintis. You can see The spotting on them's more blue than the green that you'd normally find in the true Texas cichlid. For mine here, there's a good mix of males and females. There's a female here, you can tell by the spot on the dorsal. And there's a male one who hasn't got the spot on the dorsal. The cutter eye, it's too small to tell at this size, and the same with the Neotropolis as well. They're a bit too small to sex, but with the Neotropolis, it's generally at this size. The bigger ones would be the males, and the smaller ones would be the females. It is quite a good feeling. So just over 12 months back into the hobby, well, opening up the fish room, and yeah, I've got a tank full of fish that I've bred and raised myself. Just sort of looking at it, it probably does need a bit more colour in here, just to be a bit more pleasing to the eye. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout over the next few weeks, see what I can add in there. I was thinking of the 4 boa corti that I bought not long ago, putting them in there, but the tank that they're in at the minute, they're in with a load of youngsters. They're still a little bit small, so I'll probably leave that for a couple of weeks before trying to catch them and put them in there. But I think as they get bigger, the Carpintis and the boa corti would be like a really, really nice tank. Obviously I'll have to thin down the 6 Carpintis once they start pairing off, but yeah, that's a problem for another day. I'm still debating about whether to put any plants in there as well. I know what will happen, I'll put them in, they'll die off like all the plants always do on myself. Unless I can actually get some of the plants on the bogwood, they tend to last a bit longer for me, and the fish tend to leave those alone a little bit more, but these fish will anyway. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again next time.